Okay, here we go. Brooks here again. Mr. Hedman has asked me to make another instructional video for you, and I'm going to show you some stuff here. I'm going to show you how to sort your data on our new DES sheets, how to do a split screen so you can enter the absences and then hide rows that you no longer need, but you don't want to delete them. You can do that all in under 5 minutes, so pause when you need to and pay attention. I'll run through this quickly. So here is my data that my students have been logging in, and you can see that it's got the 18th and the 19th, the 2 days, and then tomorrow I'll have the 20th as well. We're going to go ahead and start by sorting this so that I can enter the absences. I'm going to sort it by last name. That way all my students are going to be lined up next to each other. You can see that my column C is the last name, and then I'm going to add another data sorting column, which is column A, which is a timestamp. I removed the question on my DES survey, the original one. I removed the question that says the date, because I know when students enter an entry, it's going to be timestamped automatically, and I don't need to duplicate that. And I'm sure that there might be a student or two that may forget or log in another day or at the end of the week and try to do them all at once. But this way I can see when they actually logged in, not the date that they put in. So, like I showed in one of my other videos, to select all the data, the easiest way is to go to the cell up in the upper left corner that shows you up here, that shows that selects the whole spreadsheet, selects all my data, so I don't have to do click and drag and select multiple things. I just one click, it's done. And I'm going to go to my data pull down, and under the data pull down is where I'm going to have to find sort range. I am going to sort this. Like I said, my last name is column C, so I'm going to turn on my data header row. If I don't, I'll just use column C, but otherwise turn it on, and now I can see that it's going to go by last name. And then I want to add another sort column, like I said, to add the timestamp. So I'm going to use timestamp, last name first, then the last name after that, it'll sort by timestamp. So it's going to keep them duplicates right next to each other. So once I do that, then I can see all my students are in order according to their data that they put in. I did notice there's a student that did not follow the directions and put last name first in their wrong slot, so his is going to mess up the data, but that's easy to fix. But the rest of them, they're all in there. So they've got the name first. It's by last name, you can see here, and then shows the dates that they've logged in, and then the next one, and so on. So that scrolls on down. So it'll do the last names and then by the timestamp. So now I want to put this into my homeroom data sheet, and jumping back and forth is kind of cumbersome. So what I like to do is what we call a split screen. So I'm going to take one tab, I'm going to drag it down, and then it becomes its own window. Now I can take that and drag it to the side, all the way to the side edge, and let go, and it splits the screen. I can choose what I want on the other half of the screen. Now looking at my tabs, I've got both things open at the same time, makes it easier to go down. And all I'm looking for is absences. Now, this is a key thing. I talked to Brianne this morning, and she said, make sure you only put X's in the slots where students are absent that have not checked in. Don't put a P in there for present. Don't put don't mark the people that are here. We're only marking absences. That way it's quicker for her. So I'm going to look down. So my first person is Miley Dale on the 18th. Looks like she checked in on the 18th. So I'm not going to mark anything, but I don't see that she's checked in on the 19th. So I'm going to put an X there, and I'm going to make those capital. An X there, and then I go to the next person, DeHart McKenzie. Looks like she logged in on the 19th and the 18th. So both days are there, so I don't mark anything with her. AJ, he marked the 18th and checked in on the 19th, so he's good. So I would just continue through this and just marking X's on the students that are absent only and that did not check in, and then that one's done. Now, as far as when we're